Most of us don't know that the brain is wired to reflect emotions, and that empaths naturally being able to do so are the closest to what humanity should embody. Instead, empaths have been prey to narcissists for generations. It is only recently that the subject of narcissistic abuse has been raised and discussed. Have you been struggling with narcissistic behavior in a relationship? Or do you know someone who is? Then stick with us as we discuss 10 phrases that can crush or stop the narcissist. We recommend that you stay tuned until phrase number 10, as it is as powerful as it is obvious, and you won't believe that you never thought of it before. Number 1, I don't want to argue about this anymore. Narcissistic behavior is mainly due to an attempt to compensate for a lack of self-esteem. Narcissists usually have an inflated ego. Without their ego, they are faced with the honest reality about themselves. When arguing, if something or someone is more important than what they have to say, they end up stuck with no source of self-esteem, since their self-esteem comes from the empath's energy and focus on them. If their partner calmly states that the argument does not interest them, the attention and care are not directed towards the narcissist. They will naturally begin to run out of energy and lose interest in the argument. That is why this phrase can help empaths create space for themselves in the relationship, help them put a stop to the narcissist's attention-seeking behavior, and make the narcissist understand that the world does not revolve around them. Number 2, you can believe that if you like. The narcissist's version of Earth is a planet revolving around them. They believe their opinion is the highest and truest and have a hard time accepting any views that are different from theirs. This behavior stems most of the time from the fact that their needs and opinions in early childhood were not met. That is why a narcissist could easily break up a relationship over something small, like their partner's preference for coffee. When discussing anything with a narcissist, we recommend letting them know that they have the right to believe what they believe, but also that you have an opinion of your own. This perspective will broaden their horizons and make them understand that they can be safe, knowing that their views are appreciated and heard. It will lower their defenses and they will be more willing to hear what you have to say too. After all, underneath the mask of a narcissist is just a misunderstood, wounded child. Number 3, I can accept how you feel. As we discussed, narcissism emerges from being unheard and unacknowledged in childhood. They might not even be aware of it, but they use narcissistic behavior to compensate for a wound deeper than the sea, not being accepted by their families or in their circle of friends. Imagine how a narcissist would feel when they don't need to aggressively assert their point of view and feelings anymore. Empaths have a great tolerance when it comes to different opinions. They can naturally put themselves in the other's shoes and understand them. Let them know that you can accept how they feel, no matter how unusual it is. By doing so, you might make them feel like they never did before and open a gate to true intimacy and honest communication. Number 4, I know that's what you think. Being known for their pathological lying, one of the narcissist's biggest fears is to witness their honest thoughts being revealed. They would rather tell their partner what they want to hear instead of the truth, with the goal of exercising emotional manipulation. That is why it is important to educate empaths on this aspect of narcissistic behavior so that they can confront narcissists. Empaths like connecting on a genuine level and being honest about feelings, which is a good thing. They should always let the narcissist know that they understand them and know what's on their mind. This can create a sense of safety for the narcissist and can eventually lead to more honest heart-to-heart conversations. Number 5, I can't control what you think about me. Narcissists usually date or marry empaths with low self-esteem, as it is easier for them to establish their dominance through gaslighting, a manipulation technique that plants seeds of self-doubt and unworthiness in the victim. Since empaths tend to be full of self-doubt and very self-conscious, they mostly rely on what their partner thinks of them to define their own worth, giving the narcissist enormous power over them. Stating that your other half is free to think whatever they want not only frees the narcissist from feeling like they have to defend their thoughts, but mostly it frees you from your partner's psychological grip on your psyche. After that, it will be time for you to cultivate your own worth while at the same time accepting how the narcissist feels about you. Do you already feel empowered? Do these phrases make you feel like you can find yourself again and not withstand abuse anymore? Then you're going to love the next ones. Number 6, I hear you. In arguments, narcissists usually react badly to someone arguing back. The more their partner tries to talk some sense into them, the more they try to dominate the conversation using their aggressive and manipulative techniques. Usually that happens because it is hard for narcissists to admit that they might be wrong. It is therefore very important to smooth out the argument by letting them know that you actively hear what they have to say and that you understand where they're coming from. That way, the tension in their mind will diffuse and they might open their heart to your vision of the conversation, or at least their ears. Number 7, you're free to speak your mind. We are aware that standing up to a narcissist can be very hard and triggering, and listening to them devalue you or telling you are to blame for everything that is wrong can be overwhelming. But it is important for you to train yourself to see your own worth so that you are not affected by their gaslighting. Stating clearly that they have the right to speak their mind is a powerful tool to diffuse a situation with a narcissist. They see that nothing is restricting their freedom and you get to hear exactly what they think of you without being affected. After all, how can someone argue against being able to speak freely? Number 8, I can't control how you feel about me. In general, a narcissistic person needs someone to blame constantly, otherwise, they are left with only themselves to blame. Instead, they would rather point the finger at their partner, making sure that they take the blame for everything wrong or dysfunctional in the relationship. They can even go further and blame their partner for how they feel about them. And since empaths generally don't like conflict, they prefer to take it out on themselves and swallow their pain. But that is no way to live. You should make your narcissistic partner understand that. Firstly, they have the right to feel as they do. And secondly, you can't control how they feel about you. Number 9, I just want you to know how I feel. Behind every aggressive behavior is a primal fear, and narcissists are afraid. In fact, they are so afraid that they need to manipulate the world around them to feel safe. If one thing is out of their control, they get angry and make use of their manipulative techniques to get back on top. Therefore, their passive-aggressive manipulation comes from a fear of losing control. That is why it is necessary for the empath to always state their intention before getting into an argument or making a point. If you start by telling your partner that all you are looking for is to be heard and for them to know how you feel, they will stop showering you with narcissistic abuse. Instead, there's a high chance you'll get a moment of active listening from them, since they know that you mean them no harm. Number 10, everything is okay. This phrase will disarm the most commonly used method of narcissistic abuse, conditioning empaths to think that they are less valuable without them. Empaths usually rely on other people's input to determine their value. That habit leaves the narcissist in charge of deciding if there's something wrong with the relationship. Letting your partner know that everything will be okay will automatically calm them down and bring the argument to a peaceful turn. Your self-centered partner will see that even in their worst moods, you still believe in your relationship and that you are confident about where you stand. Now that you know how to deal with a narcissist and their manipulation, we hope you can take back your power in order to live fully and freely. If you like this video, then subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. Thank you for watching.